Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Banao Bharat's Trading for Living Friday live session, 28th of July, and July series has concluded yesterday with the monthly expiry. Starting today was the first day of August settlement, and the data has been more or less weak throughout the day. We saw the big sell-off in yesterday's session, and continuing with yesterday's sell-off, both Nifty and Bank Nifty also have been kind of muted and have been looking downwards for the large part of the day. This is the Nifty chart on the spot. Why spot today? Well, generally what happens is whenever a settlement changes, the charting softwares continue with the existing data, which means July futures data gets merged with August data or August futures data. In that process, what happens is August settlement, if you see August settlement data points or charts have not been trading only starting today. August settlement has been in existence for last 3 months, and that is important also because of rollovers and taking far out of contracts. So that being the case, what happens is, if you see the futures data here, yesterday whatever you are seeing, the close 19,658 is of July futures, and today whatever we are seeing, this price of open is of August. You can see there is a big difference because August futures was trading at a huge premium yesterday, and whenever such a scenario emerges, it is always better to use the spot price and not the futures price, at least for one day. This dilemma is there in every chart softwares. Some chart softwares, they continue with August settlement based on yesterday August close, but that is not the right way for traders. Yesterday's data was whatever the July data, and today what we are seeing is of August, but we need to merge both of them into one single chart and then start observing the price action. Accordingly, there will be sometimes this kind of huge difference when we do that on the futures chart. The charting softwares, whether it could be like any of the charting softwares, what they do is the right thing. By until yesterday whatever you are seeing is July futures, and today whatever you are seeing is August futures. So we don't have August futures past data, and August futures data starts from today, which is the right approach from the charting point of view. But sometimes, on such days where there is a big difference between July and August premiums, the rollover cost will be high and the opening data may have mismatch. So because of which I always suggest on such days it is better to be on spot data for at least one day. So if you see here, Nifty on the futures, it is in the outranger pattern with a different number, but Nifty on the spot is also in the outranger pattern but with a different number here. So on such days, moving forward, beginning of the expiry, I would prefer to study the charts based on the spot data. So with that respect, if you see yesterday Nifty on the spot closed at around 16,700. Today opens below yesterday's close, and from there on it has been continuously going down all throughout the day, making a low at 19,563, and finally last few candles have been looking slightly upwards and closing at 19,636. So that is with respect to the Nifty chart. Even the Bank Nifty, I am seeing the spot data. If you see here, yesterday Bank Nifty on the spot closes at 45,780 levels, and today opens below yesterday's close, which means right from the beginning it was in the negative, and goes all the way down up to 45,238 before closing at 45,447. On the whole, you can see the trajectory has shifted to the downside, at least on the intraday time frame. So we are seeing a clearly established top with respect to both Nifty and Bank Nifty, and Nifty top which was formed Bank Nifty top which was formed yesterday on the spot was at around 46,310, and today we have already seen the lows of 45,238, which means more than 1,100 points of cut between yesterday morning open and today's close. So on the whole, in 2 days, Bank Nifty on the spot itself has lost about 1,000 points. Yes, there has been some amount of recovery towards the end of about 200 points, but looks like every rise will be sold into and newer levels will come in the near future. So that is with respect to both Nifty and Bank Nifty. We are seeing the top has been made, at least in my view. I think the top that we have seen in the month of July will be the top for probably the rest of the year, which means we are seeing more of downside from here on, even on higher time frames. As of now, downtrend is established only in the intraday time frame, but moving forward, this new levels which are emerging on intraday time frame will also manifest into the revised levels on the higher time frames, which will be played on for on the downward movement. So that is what I had to just bring to your attention today, that whenever there is a huge difference between a current month contract and the next month contract, and the expiries are closing and the new expiry is starting, if you see a huge difference, then generally adopt spot chart. Otherwise, it is always futures price is what we see and that is what we trade. So I have addressed this issue before also, in the sense whether to track futures chart or spot chart. The answer is very clear. We should always track the chart which gets traded, because Nifty on the spot doesn't get traded. I always prefer to watch Nifty on the futures, because that gets traded and the price action is real there. Whatever highs or whatever lows or whatever open or close is all at those levels the trade has actually happened. It is not the average price, unlike Nifty or Bank Nifty on the spot. But whenever such rare cases are there wherein we are shifting from one expiry to another with a huge gap, then on those days maybe it makes little bit of sense for you to take a trade based on the spot. But again, you have to watch the futures level and punch in the orders in futures based on the futures highs or lows or close or whatever is your indicators or parameters that you have been using. Well, nothing more to say today. Markets have decisively closed on the weaker note for this weekly basis. Let us see how the next week pans out. Hope you all have a good weekend. Let us all once again meet on a Monday morning. Until then, Om Swasti.